am Molly Hill, the artist and automotive enthusiast. Let's get started. Good afternoon, or day, or morning, or whatever time it is that you're watching this. Welcome to Cars and Art, Art and Cars. Obviously, we have two canvases here. So today, we are doing art. I had put up a video about how I did pet portraits. The thing is I was in a hurry to get it done, so I did not show you guys the process for doing the canvas itself. Anyhow, but yeah, I didn't record how I do the background, so we're gonna show you this, and we're gonna give you a twofer, so to speak, because both these canvases are going to be similar color. They're just going to be different sizes. They're both going to be dogs, of course. If you've got, a pet that's not a dog or a cat, if you've got something unusual like a parrot or a chicken or a ferret or a horse or a pig or a cow or something, give me a shout out. I'd love to paint it. I mean, I love dogs, but that's about 75% of what I do. Anyhow, let's get to it. Let me see. Okay, and there you have it. Our base coat is down. If you're wondering what I used, it was just good old acrylic paint. At first, I just kind of base coated with white. There's really no rhyme or reason to it. More artsy-fartsy, less Illustrator, is that I just kind of slap on the color how I feel like it. And of course, it depends on end product, what the customer wants for their background color. So the one on the right, obviously, is going to be blue. I'm probably going to have it a bit lighter, just so the dog pops a little bit. And the one on the left, the customer definitively wanted light tones of grays and blues. White, a very subtle background, which is going to be awesome because the dog is like blacks and browns, so the dog's going to really pop against that. And it looks like the canvases are floating. Why do the canvases look like they're floating? Well, in order to get around the edges, because that's one of the things I do with my paintings is I paint all the way around the edges, is I put thumbtacks on them. And on the smaller canvases like these, I can get away with just put one on each corner, but a much larger canvas, I use several. And as far as brushes, nothing fancy, just good old chip brushes or old house brushes or whatever. And same thing goes for the palette. That was actually sort of like cheapo economy play from Walmart, but paint doesn't slop out of it. So I get the Flow acrylic. Basically, it's the same thing with the acrylic, whatever's most cost effective. You don't need anything fancy to make awesome art. Apologies, I don't have the typical easel and palette and all that stuff. I don't even have a beret or a smock, so wham. Yeah, so like I said, I just had ultramarine blue, white, and black. And the black was just to make the kind of the grayish tones in that one. But yeah, like I said, I just, alternate the colors, slap them down. Usually start with the lightest to the darkest, and then sometimes I'll go back with the lighter to kind of blend everything around. But yeah, I mean, it just kind of varies what I do on the background. If I'm doing more of a gallery painting, I might get a little more elaborate with this part and purposely make it show through the front. Sometimes it shows through the airbrush layer anyway, but anyhow, enough babbling. We'll get on with the next step in the process, which is going to be the spray paint and stencils. Whoa, would you look at that? Spray, stencil, lots of spray, lots of stencil. Yeah, so I bring out a variety of colors in case I get indecisive. We're still in artsy-fartsy phase, so also in case some of these cans don't work. And also a variety of stencils. They range from things that are purposely made as stencils, like this came from Michael's and it's like for decorating cabinets or crafts or whatever. This kind of stencil, which I highly recommend if you're of any kind of advanced artist, well, I mean, even crafty person too. This company is called Stencil Girl, and they just make these really unique shapes and stuff, and they hold up very, very well. I have painted these a million times, and yeah, they have not broken or anything, whereas some of the ones from the craft store aren't made with as heavy a plastic, and over time the solvent can and will break them down. But it's good to alternate what you got so your paintings don't always look the same. But yeah, this is a Stencil Girl. This one's Stencil Girl too. This one's one of my favorites. This one is awesome. This actually is a gutter helmet. It comes in a plastic roll, and you mount it obviously to the top of your gutter. This at one time was a piece of mesh fabric, and it's been painted on considerably, so I probably need to replace that at some point. I just stretch it on a frame, so it's just easier to use. Then this was an airbrushing stencil, or like for custom cars, a universal stencil for like doing shapes and stuff. I don't really use it that much for this. I don't know why it's in with everything else. I don't know. Yeah, and what the heck is this silly thing? So some of my paintings I sell at this board game bar, and anyhow, so they're always putting out new board games, and obviously they gotta like pop out all the little parts, pieces. The bar is actually called Pieces. Anyhow, so these make kind of neat stencils because they're just a bunch of various geometric shapes, but they gave me a big bag full of them, so I've got quite a few of those to go. I don't have to worry about running out of those, and they're like a hard cardboard, but that works. This one's actually an automotive stencil, or an automotive painting stencil. Gosh, I can't remember the name of it, but they're not cheap, but they hold up very well. I've had this, oh my gosh, probably almost 20 years. I've had this thing forever, this diamond plate pattern. So anyhow, and the spray paint's just whatever I can get from the hardware store, with the exception of some special effects stuff. So this is my awesome favorite I call it splatter, but they call it marble effect. But art stores are now kind of getting on the spray paint game, and they offer all kinds of interesting stuff, high quality stuff. I also have a crackle one. It makes it look like really old furniture or lead-based paint or furniture or something like that. And I haven't had a chance to use that. I'll have to figure out what I want to use that on. So without much ado, I'm going to film the first one slow, and then the next one I'm going to do time lapse. Sorry, I live behind a fire department. They like to make a bunch of funky beep boop noises. So anyhow, okay, let's get on it. Okay, and here are completed canvases. This one turned out a little darker than expected, but I really liked the pattern, so I just kind of kept it. I dusted it with a little more white. Yeah, too bad I typically dust around the edges. It kind of covers up where I may have missed with the acrylic paint. Just looks nice and neat. And this one turned out a little more blue than it did gray, but it's still kind of that light value that we were looking for. I mean, of course, one of the steps in the process is I show the customer the canvas next to the drawing before moving on with the painting, and with that they have an opportunity to make any changes they would like. Like, for example, if I've got the dogs, if they want to show more of the dog's body, or for example, if the color of the canvas isn't quite to their liking, I can adjust that too. So anyhow, so that does it for this video. If you want to see the next step in this process, you can see the painting a pet portrait video. Thank you for watching Cars and Art, Art and Cars. Please like and subscribe to this channel. Also check out flamesartworks.com for full galleries of my work. As well as following on Instagram and Facebook, contact me on any of these platforms if you would like any artwork done. Again, thank you for watching. Look forward to seeing you on the next one.